Welcome back, everybody, to Man vs. Line, episode 2, your favorite sports gambling podcast, the best podcast out there. Let's be honest here. We got a lot to talk about today. We're going to have a conversation about Mal's record and last week's results. Then we have the biggest surprise of week 0 that we thought, and then we're going to look forward to week 1 and give our Wednesday, Thursday bets. Let's go. Welcome, everybody. Here we are. Mal, successful week 1, I would say. Week 0. Week 0.
All in all, okay, I just want to preface this. I am officially, it's not even week 1, and we're officially changing that whole Nebraska thing. I wanted to ride the Lightning. I had them winning the division. I was looking forward to shucking some corn out there. It was going to be a great time. Unfortunately, Scott Frost is incompetent and has
shucked you instead.
Yeah, Shock Frost.
Scott Frost.
Shock the nation, which is exactly what Nebraska did by sucking, like literally sucking. And not only that, how about the overbettors, huh? How about the people that bet over 62.5, only to have some dumbass that apparently has never kicked a point after the fucking touchdown ever in his life. Missed two. Not one.
Wasn't it 52? It was 52.5, right? And the total ended up being 52.
Something like that, yeah. But
it was a bad beat. It was a bad beat.
I mean, it was one of the worst beats. I think it's probably going to be one of the worst beats of the season, probably. Yeah. And it's week 0. You got a freaking kicker. All you do is kick. Buddy, I'm not going to be one of these guys that say I could go out there and go 10 for 10 because I can't. But I don't kick every day.
But let's be honest, though. Point at PATs. If we really went out there, we could probably hit 2 out of 20.
Yes.
And he does it every day. That's the difference.
And it's not like we're in the NFL where we're back on the 15-yard line and we got skinnier goalposts. No, this is damn college, dude. You're still snapping from the 2-yard line, making probably an 8. And not an 8. I'd say probably a 15-yard kick. Yeah. We're in the NFL. You're probably making a 25-yard kick.
It's technically a 13-yard kick.
Technically, okay. So how?
And it was bad. It's like it just.
It was bad. Yeah, no, they were bad. They were bad, and it blows my mind. And for me being an overbetter, I took another line. I didn't have the 52.5, so it didn't really affect me that bad. But for the people that had 52.5 and you bet over that, I am sorry from the bottom I'm sorry for that.
Our hearts, yeah, I feel bad for him too. That was
I mean, like, dude,
that was some of the most sloppy football I've ever seen too. It was absolutely terrible.
I mean, it looked like a week 0 Big Ten game. Let's be honest.
Yeah, and I don't know how we didn't see it not being sloppy. I mean, we should have. And then also another thing that slipped by me, and I wish I would have known this, is that, yeah, I know Illinois' head coach is 11-1 all time in season openers. I don't know how I missed that. I don't know how they got by me. It did.
Okay, I thought you were going to say it was a tribute game.
Oh!
I thought you because we did not know about that. We did not know it was a tribute.
Yeah, one of their players did pass away sadly earlier this year. So I mean,
given that knowledge,
it was a tribute game.
That knowledge, the picks might have went a little different. It's like a
lot of overlooked things, but I mean, overall, we had a pretty good week, I'd say.
Overall, the rest of the games are pretty straightforward. I mean, it was.
We do have to talk about something now.
What's that?
Your record. I made it whoopsie on the graphic. And I will admit that when you said Fresno State minus 5,000 last week, I took that with a grain of salt. I mean, that was like I didn't know if it was like we were really counting it, but like
so here was my week 0. So my week 0 was a parlay of every single game, and I threw shit at a wall and saw if it stuck. just to try to start the year off big. All right. So every single pick that I said last week was in a parlay. That is why I added Fresno State minus 5,000, because quite frankly, I didn't really want to touch that line. I think it was like at 27.5. And I just didn't want that to be the reason why it lost. So I added Fresno State minus 5,000 in there just for some juice. Now, it's not really going to affect the overall units I lost because it was minus 5,000. I could have probably won 20 cents on a $10 bet, if that. So let's take it with it. Yeah, if that. So, I mean, it's not like
I gave it to you, like, as you can see, like right underneath your head, it says 4-3. So I gave it to you.
4-3 looks better than 3-3. Doesn't even matter.
I put it in the books.
Mean, it's 4. It technically is 4-3. Technically, I picked it and it hit, so we're going to count it. But this week we're going to have some serious picks where I'm literally playing just one unit on all these picks. So it's going to be it's going to be a good one.
But no, yeah. So that was the big issue from last week, I would say. But I think, like we said earlier, the biggest surprise of week 0 was how bad Nebraska was.
Awful. Just awful.
I saw this tweet, and this guy, I think I sent it to you, Mal, and I'll put it up on the screen now. But this guy tweeted out, "I'm going to open up a sports bar just for Nebraska and Tennessee fans. Come watch ball amongst friends. And also, there's a room you can just break anything you want, get it all out. Got a shot waiting for you when you get back."
You see, Georgia doesn't need that until about the SEC champion, or just whenever we play Alabama. Give us that
late November,
I'd say. Whenever we play Alabama, give us that, and we'll be fine. We'll be.
Nebraska's performance was very reminiscent of the Tennessee Vols, so I feel for them, because I feel like where we were last year is where they are this year, as in they got a shit quarterback they can't get rid of.
Well, I saw something where Martinez is literally Garantano 2.0.
Yeah, bro, he is.
And it's kind of scary. It's kind of scary how accurate that was.
Yeah, they're the same quarterback. It's insane.
Yeah, it's oh Lord, but this week
I couldn't be more excited for this weekend. I really couldn't.
I couldn't be more excited. I'm really excited about Thursday. There are some hellacious games on Thursday, and some surprising games I think we might see come out of the woodworks.
I agree with that. I think there's definitely a lot of.
I think we might see some surprises. Not any upsets, but some games that are a little closer than a lot of people think they may be this Saturday or this Thursday.
Yeah, I agree. There were a lot
if you're getting where I'm hinting at here.
There were a lot of big lines for these games on Thursday.
Yes.
And even Wednesday. But let's go ahead and talk about it. First game of the week is tomorrow night. Tonight, if you're watching an episode on Wednesday. But that is UAB versus Jacksonville State, 7:30 on ESPN. Now, this game has a lot to it, okay? Jacksonville State, year in, year out in the FCS, one of the top teams, always a national championship contender. That's because they get a lot of fallout guys from the Power 5 conferences that go there that want to win, and they do. Now, the line when I took it was 14.5 in favor of UAB.
Mm-hmm.
I have Jacksonville State plus 14.5. And I also took the over 47.5 in that game. Look, Jacksonville State's a damn good team. This is going to be a battle of a game. You saw it last year in UAB played Weber State. It was like a 45-35 game.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be a lot of points scored in this game, and I think Jacksonville State keeps it within 14.5.
You say, I ain't even touching it. I just don't. I get it. I kind of just want to enjoy that game because, like you, it's going to be a hell of a game. Yeah. I don't want to be stressing and sweating the whole time because technically it is the only game on tomorrow. So I don't really want to stress everyone. I just want to enjoy.
I have to bet it.
You got to bet it? All right. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
1-800-GAMBLER.
Because Dylan's kind of sounding like that right now.
There's a game on, I got to take it. There's a game on, I care about.
Lord, man.
I think that's going to be an interesting one.
No, but I mean, I'm staying away from that game. I just want to enjoy that game. I want to have a good start to my football week and just enjoy that game, enjoy some good football. So that's now Thursday, on the other hand.
Thursday, let's go ahead and kick this off with Boise State UCF. This is going to be a hell of a game. But so that's at 7 o'clock on ESPN. But I personally, what?
What are you saying? I'm saying I don't know about that one.
You're not touching it,
dude. I don't think I can touch that.
Well, listen. UCF returns Dylan Gabriel, returns Greg McCray, number 1 ranked back in the AAC this year. returns 2 of their top 4 receivers from last year. They averaged 42.5 points per game in 2020 in 10 games, yet allowed 33.2 points per game in 2020. Average margin of victory is 21.3 points. So when they did win, they won big.
Yes.
And I think Gus Malzahn gets his first big win in Orlando. I have UCF minus 5.5.
See, I still don't know if Gus Malzahn can handle the pressure cooker that is UCF.
National champs, man. There's a lot riding on it.
Oh, no, but that one it's UCF and it's Boise State. Boise State is like one of those teams where you see them on the schedule and you're like, okay, it's Boise State. They're out there. That Mountain West ain't really got much going on.
They were voted to win their divisional.
Yeah.
Part of their division
Yeah.
in there.
Boise State's always like one of those weirdly attractive games that fans look at and go, okay, it's Boise State. I'm a Georgia fan. I should know.
Slap you in the mouth.
They will come out and slap you in the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, I ain't touching it with a 10-foot pole. Do I think UCF covers -5? Oh, 100%. There's no doubt in my mind.
Right.
But it is Boise State.
Yeah, and I was looking at it. I was like, it could go either way, but in Orlando, Gus Malzahn's debut, I think
bounce house.
Is going to be
everything points towards UCF, and that's why it scares the ever living hell out of me to bet on that game because everything points towards UCF just blowing them out. And UCF, like I said, they should blow them out. There's no reason they shouldn't. But first game of the season is going to be sloppy. If Boise State can make the game sloppy, get down and dirty, Boise State's got a damn good chance.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's a fair game, but if UCF wins, they'll win by more than 5.
Yes. Oh, 100%. Yeah. Boise State's just got to go. If they take the air out of the bounce house, then they got a really good shot. Because it's going to be rocking. So that's where I'm at with that game.
What's your next pick for Thursday?
So my first bet of the day is going to come in the first game taking place in Charlotte, the Dukes Mayo Classic, the first Dukes Mayo Classic game. And it's going to be Appalachian State versus East Carolina. Appalachian State is a 10.5-point favorite in this game. And you hammer them. You hammer Appalachian State minus 10.5. Appalachian State is such a good team in the Sun Belt, and they're always going to be a good team in the Sun Belt. Appalachian State takes care of business out there. It's Appalachian State. It's Appalachian State minus 10.5. They're such a well-coached team. I think that's what makes them so dangerous.
Yeah, I looked at that game. I didn't end up taking anything in it. I really wasn't too sure what would happen with App State losing their quarterback from last year, such a stud. So no, but I definitely think App State's the better team there by a long shot. 10.5, just really wasn't feeling it, but it's definitely not a bad bet whatsoever.
I mean, yeah, it's one of those like Appalachian State has every right to cover that. So I feel confident. It's a neutral site game. You're not really. If this was in Boone, I feel like that line would probably be closer to 13.5, 13.5, 14. Neutral site game. East Carolina doesn't really travel that well. Appalachian State will probably take over that.
That place is always
take over the stadium. Yeah, I mean App State. So it'll feel like a home game, and they've just got more seats to fill now. Yeah. So if Appalachian State can go in there and sell out Bank of America, then watch out. Watch out.
It's going to be a crazy game for sure. Any other picks? Because my next one's probably like the main game of Thursday.
I mean, any other picks for Thursday?
Oh, yeah. Ohio State versus Minnesota.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's look at Ohio State. Good per usual, as always.
Let's say it on 3, Skip.
What are we saying on 3? Oh, okay. All right. 1, 2, 3.
We are rowing the damn boat. PJ Fleck comes in there and covers 14. PJ Fleck covers 14 points against Ohio State.
Well, I don't have the boat rowing that game. I got Ohio State minus 14.5.
Ohio State is walking into Minnesota. PJ Fleck covers 14. The boat is rowing.
You think the boat's rowing, man?
The boat is – they don't win the game. Hell no, they don't win the game. But they cover 14. At
I have
home,
Ohio State 14.5, man.
at home, Minnesota will come out. This will be a close game at half. This will be very close. It's hard to predict. I mean, just like I said, we saw the first week is always the sloppiest week. It's either going to be sloppy on defense or sloppy on offense. So it's really hard to predict going out there saying, is Ohio State's offense going to go out there and put up the numbers we think they should? Probably not. Not in the first game of the year. And it's just all going to come down to, like I said, how dirty the game gets. Same thing with the Boise State game. That's really all these first week games are, is who can make the fewest mistakes, because every team's going to make a lot of mistakes. And I see it being a close game at half. I think Ohio State will probably jump out to a 17-point lead. Minnesota will probably come back, make it, 10-point lead, and then Ohio State, drive down, kick a field goal. It'll be 13, and Minnesota covers.
I'm seeing like a 40-something to 20-something game. I don't know if I said this, Ohio State's won the last 10 meetings versus Minnesota.
Oh, yeah.
Their average margin of victory in the last 10 meetings with Minnesota is 19.6 points. Total points in the last 10 versus Minnesota is 49.5, so I'm taking the under 64.5 in that game.
Mm-hmm.
But the spread, I'm taking Ohio State minus 14.5.
So, yeah, I'm taking Minnesota. I'm taking Minnesota to cover this game. If this was
rowing the boat, listen.
Dude,
I'll row the boat for the season. I think they'll win the division. But
now, if this was in Columbus, it's not even close.
Yeah, if it was in the horseshoe.
Yeah, if it's in Columbus, it was not a shot, but it's not. And I think that's a good thing for Minnesota. And hell, we know Ohio State is prone to drop a game against a lesser opponent. So could it come week 1 against Minnesota? Does PJ Fleck do the impossible?
They still got Master Teague. Yeah, it's gonna be
interesting
for sure. So yeah, like I said, Ohio State 14.5, under 64.5. Mal, your bets are
Minnesota plus 14.
Gotcha. What's your next bet?
Next bet obviously is going to be Bowling Green plus 34.5. Bowling Green plus 34.5. Yes. Oh, and I also have the under as well in the Ohio State game.
So you have the under.
I do have the under as well. I have 65. So I have 65 was the line I was given.
Okay.
So I have under 65 in the Ohio State Minnesota game.
So we essentially have the same thing.
Yes. Except I can actually push.
Yes, you can push.
Yes, I can push.
So yes.
Bowling Green, Dylan, don't even shake your head at me. Don't shake your head at me.
Swallowing my pride. Joe Milton III is coming out. He's going to have a great game. Josh Heupel is going to set the tone for the season. Tennessee minus 35.5. Take it to the bank. Cash it. Tell them to give them your damn money. Tennessee's going to win this game by more than 40 points. I have to. It's a pride bet. I'm swallowing my pride. I know it's probably not the smart thing to do, but I'm taking the Vols here. I'm taking the Vols minus 35.5. I love this team to death. I know we sucked ass the past couple of years. I know this probably is a smart bet. I know it's probably not going to hit, but I'm taking Tennessee minus 35.5.
All right. Now that Dylan's done talking, if you can go take out your second mortgage on your house and place that on Bowling Green plus 34.5.
I got to represent. Give me a second.
Because look, all right, so while Dylan's gone, let me just explain this to you guys. Tennessee is with a first-year head coach. Tennessee lost a lot of players. Tennessee's going to win the game. And Dylan is back with a Tennessee hat on.
Look, this is my middle school hat. I somehow still have it. You see the flat bill, remember when that was in style?
Yeah.
Look like I'll sell you Coke on a Tuesday on the corner of the street.
You look like one of those, like, white guy thugs that like every movie tries to portray, like with the bill up like that, saggy shorts. Like, oh, you look like Eminem.
I look like 8 Mile. No, but I'm swallowing my pride. I'm taking the Vols.
No. Look.
Minus 35.5.
Dude. Oh wait, you got a minus 35.5?
Yeah, when they announced Joe Milton was the starting quarterback, it jumped up 2 points.
Oh, man, dude. Take advantage of this week 1 debauchery. And please, for the love of all that's good and holy, do not listen to Dylan on this. I think
be high, but I love it.
Most realistic Tennessee fans will tell you that Bowling Green will cover this game. Especially at 35.5. Good Lord, they jumped it up. No. Bowling Green plus 34.5. You know what? I think I'm going to do it. Do I do it, Dylan? Lock of the week, Bowling Green plus 34.5.
That's your lock of the week?
Lock of the
Oh,
week is Bowling
oof,
Green plus 34.5.
oof, oof.
Dude, it's going to be sloppy. Like, you have to look at past, like, openers with Tennessee. Like, I understand y'all have a new head coach. I understand it's
No,
y'all
trust
knew
me,
all
I know
this.
it's a dumb bet. Trust me, I know. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. I have to. In order for me to get mentally ready for this season and be hype, I have to go all in.
No, look,
This is how it is.
Tennessee could. I mean, they can cover this. It's not like this is like impossible to cover. It's just they won't.
Yeah, if history has shown us anything, we won't do it. But
Dude, if this
I'm
was
saying F history.
if this was Georgia against Bowling Green, and like I would literally probably still take Bowling Green against Georgia plus 34.5. Just because like it's the premise of 34.5 points being given to one team. You're starting the game 34-0. It's just the whole premise of that. You cannot not take that.
Yeah, that's understandable. But I guess so. That's your lock of the week.
That is my lock of the week.
Spit in my face, but I'll take it with a smile.
It's not spit in your face. Tennessee wins the game.
I know. I'm just taking it hard. But my lock of the week is the under 64.5 at the Ohio State Minnesota game.
Okay,
that's my lock.
I mean, that's a good lock. That's a good lock.
Speaking of, 0 for 1 last week on the lock now.
Yeah.
Tough.
But I mean, like I said, how are we supposed to know Nebraska was going to come out? There's a lot of stuff we didn't take into account. This is why you play week 0. This is why you play week 0. You got to get the rust off. Now the rust is off. We're breaking out of the chains, and it's time to attack the day, as Daddy Kirby would say. And we're attacking the day.
Brick by brick.
Brick by brick, as God, what a clown, dude.
Arkansas State head coach Butch Jones. Here, listen. So those are the picks we're taking, but there's a lot of good games on Thursday. We can go ahead and kind of talk about them. So when I'm Temple versus Rutgers, I really like Rutgers, but not to
follow up.
Yeah.
I also have under 60 on the Bowling Green Tennessee game.
Under 60? Okay.
Yes. Which, dude, 60 points for that game. It's like I said, it's going to be so sloppy, man. It's just like, okay, everybody listening, expose these week 1 totals, because quite frankly, I don't think anybody in Vegas has nobody really has a clue what's going to happen. And a lot of these games are going to be sloppy. I would expose these week 1 totals while you can.
Yeah, but I don't know what the total is, the Temple and Rutgers game, but it says the line is Rutgers 14.5.
Ooh.
I don't know. Temple's usually a good team.
The total on that game is 51.5.
Greg Schiano, 51.5.
51.5. I wouldn't touch that total.
I wouldn't touch that either.
Because, I mean, the Rutgers did get a lot better last year.
Yeah, Greg Schiano really improved him last year. I was really surprised considering he's such a dickhead.
And Tennessee fans ran him off.
I'm glad we did.
Yeah, man turned the Rutgers into a halfway decent football team last year.
I'm glad we ran them off. I just think there's a lot of baggage there. I don't really want to.
Oh, you just set me up. What kind of baggage, Dylan? McDonald's baggage?
Oh, you got me.
I got you. Got you, bitch.
I'll eat it. That's fine.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, so I like Temple 14.5 there. Like I said, these are not our picks. We're just kind of like advising here. I like Temple 14.5 in that game. I think Temple's usually a good team. 14.5 points is a lot for a Rutgers team that's mediocre.
Look, the Rutgers, like I said, they're good. The Rutgers do have an advantage here. The game is at home, so that means there will not be very many people there. So it could happen.
It could.
They could cover that.
Yeah, I agree. But next game we got is Citadel at Coastal Carolina. Blowout, landslide, Coastal Carolina. I didn't see a line on that on FanDuel. So
let me take.
You got one for Bovada?
I'm trying to look. Hey, don't sleep on the Citadel now. This is the team that beat Georgia Tech. What was it, 2 years ago?
Take the under.
Oh yeah, take the
triple option.
Hammer the under. What's the
triple option for the Citadel? They run triple option. Hammer the under. If it's anything more than 50, hammer it.
I'm not seeing a line on my sports book for that,
So
which
they
is
don't
kind
even,
of it's kind of depressing.
it is kind of depressing. It's a grit game. You would expect sports books to do better.
Yeah, sportsbook Bovada, if you're listening to me, do better.
Do better.
Do better.
FanDuel,
Do
if you're
better.
listening to me, do better.
Do better. How do we not have a line on this game?
Disrespectful to the
Just
boys down in
awful.
the
Just awful.
Carolinas.
I think I did hear. I was listening to a Georgia
That's
Sports
an
Talk
in-state
radio.
battle too.
Yeah, I do believe that the total was like somewhere around 35.5. I believe that's where the total was set.
For that game?
Yeah. For the Citadel game?
Not like 45.5?
No, it was set around 35.
Holy hell. I don't know.
But still, no, you still hammer the under, dude.
You still hammer?
Dude, you still hammer the under on that.
Okay.
If you can find a line, I would throw a unit on the under. I never saw a line, but I mean, it's one of those games. Like, if some reason it doesn't hit, I wouldn't be mad if it didn't hit. It's just the whole premise of a triple option. They're going to choose much clock, and it really just depends on how many of the first downs the Citadel can get. If the Citadel can get, 1 or 2 first downs every drive, yeah, that game's going to go under.
Yeah, no, I agree. Next game, Long Island at FIU. Let me tell you something. I used to play Long Island. Dog shit. So if you're hammer FIU by a lot.
Dude, I don't even have that line.
I don't even think there's a line for it. But if you can, whatever, if you're somehow connected to the universe and can get lines or spreads for that game, hammer FIU.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say about that one. Then we talked about Boise State, UCF, Western Illinois, Ball State. I think Ball State would win that one. They were pretty good last year.
Wagner Buffalo is interesting.
Wagner Buffalo is an interesting game. Like I said,
Buffalo,
I played Wagner.
Buffalo will absolutely demolish them.
Yeah. I played Wagner, or let me say that. I watched Wagner play. Mediocre team. They had a lot of talent on the edge. A lot of those guys went to the NFL. Hammer Buffalo.
Dude, Buffalo last year
been sneaky good.
Buffalo's been sneaky good,
years, man.
Buffalo's been very, dude. The MAC is not playing around anymore.
They're really not. They're kind of stepping up the game.
And also, any MAC games that you can find, hammer the under. Because, dude, it's going to be like, we know week one's going to be sloppy, right?
Yeah.
No, the MAC is going to make it look like a Pee Wee football game. And like, it's just a bad reputation they get, but damn it, it's deserved.
Here's what I would compare the MAC. Okay, so like, say, you know how if you have to come up slowly from the ocean to get air, like, or else the pressure will like crush your brains or something like that.
Yeah,
I would compare the MAC being at FBS level, like just barely sticking your mouth out of the water to get air. And we'll say that SEC is like planes flying over the ocean. The MAC and the FBS would just be like sticking your lips out of the water and sucking in air. They're barely FBS, but they're FBS.
Look, so here's the thing about the MAC. I would say, okay, the MAC does need to go out and make an addition to their conference. And here is the team I'd bring on. I'd bring on Bishop Sycamore. That is
high school team?
Dude, apparently it's a bunch of JUCO dropouts.
And they got their ass kicked by a high school team. That has to be one of the wildest stories I've ever heard.
I just want to know how okay, I know we say, like joke around, FanDuel do better, but no, ESPN legitimately needs to do better.
I'm about to drive 15 miles north and spit on their campus.
Dude, how do you allow, especially in Canton, Ohio, how do you allow a team to just, I don't know, apparently they've been playing for like 2 years.
And I don't know if you heard this story. One of their former players said they used to go rob places so they could eat as a team.
Yeah.
Like a team function, team bonding. Hey, guys, we're going to go rob the Kroger tonight. Strap up, get your mask ready. We're going to really have a great time out there.
At the end of the day, I mean, good for them, I guess. Good for them. I mean, a team that robs together has to stay together, right?
And their head coach has an outstanding arrest warrant, right?
I think 5.
5?
Yeah, I think I saw where it's 5. He's got 5 arrest warrants. But the funniest part about all this, right? How do you keep this a secret for this long? Like, how does because some of those players have girlfriends, families, friends. They're like, yeah, I'm gonna go play IMG real quick on ESPN. Bro, what the fuck? You're 21 years old.
Yeah, and they got stomped out by like 15, 16-year-olds.
It just goes to show you what coaching, like literally all that is coaching.
Yeah,
literally all that is coaching. They went 0-6 in 2019.
Oh, yeah.
Or no, they went 0-6 last year. They would have been 0-8 if not for 2 canceled COVID games. So you're playing a bunch of high school teams as a bunch of basically grown men, and you're still losing.
Yeah, tough.
Like,
Real
it's
tough.
just a tough look.
Real
Now,
tough for the boys.
I want to know the motivation behind this. Is this just a bunch of guys that like wanted to relive the glory days, or
I don't know. Maybe, those bag chasers, man. They're going to get theirs. Maybe that's what they're thinking. I'm going to go back, act like a high school student with fake IDs and whoop up on some kids, even though I'm 23 years old. But
what
they just
bag are
didn't
you
go that way.
chasing though? What bag are you chasing? The $3,000 to $5,000 bag they're going to give Bishop Sycamore for playing an ESPN game?
No. They're chasing a scholarship. They were acting like they were high school kids, like recruits.
Yeah.
They
So
were trying to get re-recruited.
Yeah, I know. So what's
younger?
here's my thing: is like, what's going to happen when when you actually do somewhat start getting recruited?
Well, I think nobody really recruited them because they were terrible. Number one, number two, they couldn't find them in any database.
Yeah, exactly. No, so did you see like the opening? It's like they're showing all IMGs recruits and stuff like that, and where they're committing, Florida State commit, yada yada. Then they're like Bishop Sycamore. We can't find any of these guys in the recruiting databases. We checked everything. It's just
that's probably when they'd have been like, I don't
maybe something right here.
They're probably like, like, let me carry the one, strap that.
One of these things just doesn't belong here.
Yeah, just didn't add up. I don't know how that game got played. Didn't they play them last year too?
No, I don't think that. No, I think they just been playing like a full-fledged. I just want to know what the end game here. Like if playing on ESPN was the end game, like, I mean, hell, good for them. Congrats.
They did it.
Now what? Now everybody knows you're just a bunch of dumbasses. Like,
yeah,
it doesn't make sense.
Tough.
It doesn't make sense.
But yeah, and also another crazy story: South Carolina's grad assistant is starting at quarterback for them this weekend.
Wait, who is South Carolina? Okay, we'll talk. No, we'll talk. We'll get into that.
They're playing Eastern. We'll talk about it next episode.
Eastern Missouri. Eastern
Illinois. Yeah, the Panthers. So it's going to be an interesting game. But what other games we got on Thursday? Weber State at Utah.
Yeah.
Utah. Hammer them. But Weber State's a good team, so don't be afraid. It's a little bit closer than they say. South Florida,
NC State is very interesting.
18.5 points is a lot of points.
Yeah, no. I would not touch that.
No, I wouldn't either.
Football.
It's a lot of points, but I could see it happening.
It's a lot of points I could see it happening, but like NC State's always one of those weird ACC teams. Like they're either going to go be half decent or just they're always forgot about to North Carolina.
Yeah. The only year I can really remember them being important is when Bradley Chubb was there.
Yeah, and I mean he was he was good.
Great defenseman.
Great. Cousin of Nick Chubb, actually. So
yeah, cousin.
Got that chubby bloodline.
The Chubb connection.
That Chubb connection. That Chubb connection.
Docking. You don't get it. Over the head.
Reddit whoosh.
Yeah, so South Florida, NC State. I wouldn't be surprised if South Florida covers. If you're a gambling man, have fun with that. That one's a coin flip, honestly, that spread is. We already talked about East Carolina, App State. Davis, Tulsa at 7:30 on ESPN Plus. Who cares, honestly? I'll talk about every other game. Who cares, honestly?
Who cares?
And then we talked about Ohio State, Minnesota, UT Martin, West Kentucky. Somebody please wake me from this nap. Couldn't care less. Houston Baptist, New Mexico. Go New Mexico Obos. Is that how you say it?
The
Lobos, correct. Yeah. Eastern Washington, UNLV. Eastern Washington might win this game. Eastern Washington, they play in a red field. They got a lot of grit to them. I like it. Go Hawked Birds.
All right.
And then the last game Thursday is Southern Utah versus Arizona State, 10:30 p.m.
Pac-12 getting those this is on a Thursday, so Pac-12 getting
Wait a minute. Southern Utah is a team that played San Jose State last
year.
Yes. And might I add, had me sweating. I had San Jose State. That was my lock of the week, minus 24.5. Mm-hmm. So San Jose State was up 31 points. And Southern Utah, obviously there's like 2 minutes left in the game. These hard asses start trying to score a touchdown. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
They get down to the goal line. Get down to fourth and goal. It goes all the way down to fourth and goal, and they throw a pass in the back of the end zone incomplete because if they would have scored that, it would have been 24 points, and the clock would have just ran out when San Jose State got the ball, and I would have hated my life.
Okay.
So thank God that didn't happen.
And I do want to recap something from this past Saturday.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do
UCLA,
that. That's all the games Thursday. So let's do that.
UCLA.
Wow. Also,
Is-
Hawaii just came out there and flat out died. They didn't even
Yeah.
try to win that game at
Look.
all.
Like I had UCLA minus 17.5. I was not expecting 34 points to be
And
the
let me be
total.
honest, I look like an idiot, but then again, who would have expected that out of UCLA?
Look, like I was expecting it to be like a 24 point. Like I was expecting to cover by like 7 or 8 points.
I want to be honest. My pick for them winning the Pac-12 South now looks a lot better after that. Like if you would have taken them when I told you to take them, that was plus 750. Now it's probably, I don't know.
Let's take a look. Yeah,
I'll look at it right now. But it was a big surprise for almost everybody.
And I mean, so we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves. We'll talk about this a little bit more on the episode Friday. But LSU is going out to California to play
They still
UCLA.
have UCLA plus 750.
Hey,
wow, bold. But I mean, you can't also say they played Hawaii. But yeah, I think.
But I mean,
Chip
like
Kelly, if he keeps wearing the visor, bro, lock.
Hey, the LSU game's a little more interesting now. That's all I'm going to say.
It definitely is. It definitely is. But could this be an LSU tribute game to the hurricane victims back home? That's all I'm saying. Maybe they win one for the people back home, for the city.
I mean, we can't be throwing tribute games out there. It's like mascot games, man. It's got to be like one of those, like, if the hurricane, like, they go out there and if they put a patch on their helmets,
that's how we know.
It's over.
I don't think they're doing patches because I think all that happened was New Orleans lost power.
Yeah. So I mean, like, if there isn't a helmet sticker, we can't. If there's no helmet sticker, you can't call it a tribute game. That's
fair. That's fair. That's a good point. Maybe that's what we. That's
helmet sticker. Helmet sticker means
helmet sticker games.
Helmet sticker games.
Yeah.
So you got your mascot games. You got your mascot games. Your helmet sticker games. Oh, this is messed up, but
it's a great way of watching.
It's a
There's
great
been a lot of success to it.
Yes, and I mean, I remember. So I remember last year. I believe it was last year. I bet a mascot game. I think it was the NC State game, actually.
Mm-hmm. Didn't their dog just like randomly die?
Dog randomly died.
Really?
And I bet them to cover, and I think they did not cover by like 3 points, and I was devastated. No, I bet them outright to win, and they lost. I think they lost that game by like 3 or 6 points. Like, and it was
they just
lopsided.
Didn't love their mascot enough.
No, like no, it was like it should have been a lot worse. So I think it needs to be cover. You bet the team to cover. You bet the team to cover.
Also, can we throw in alternate uniform games? But for the other team?
Oh, for the other team. It depends on who we're on. So like if Georgia comes out with like red on red this year, I don't give a shit if we're playing South Carolina. You hammer South Carolina to cover that game.
Yeah. Like a prime example is UGA versus Tennessee in like 2015 when we first wore the Smoky Grays.
Okay, did we bet Tennessee checkerboard game this year?
That's interesting. We always seem to win those.
No,
I don't know why.
Last time
we make it a good game.
Hey, the last checkerboard game I went to at Tennessee was against Georgia.
Was that a checkerboard game?
It was 41-0.
Oh,
yeah.
We'll do some more research on that.
Yeah.
What about the Oklahoma checkerboard game?
The Oklahoma checkerboard was about
striped. 4 years. It's a stripe game, right?
It was about 4 years ago, Dylan. Give it a rest, bud. It was stop clinging. Stop holding on.
They don't do that anymore?
I don't know. Hell, you're a Tennessee fan.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Oklahoma striping the stadium out.
Oh, striping the stadium. I believe they do that maybe once a year.
Yeah, I think that's a log.
Yeah.
Should be a log, maybe.
Should be. Penn State wideout. You hammered Penn State. Have to hammer Penn State on a wideout.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They get Penn State wideouts are always typically go Penn State's way. Let's see. What else? Let's think of all the random things we can think about for these games. Looking forward. You've got the I'm trying to think. You got the Florida.
Anytime Auburn's tree is poisoned, maybe take Auburn to cover.
Maybe
Auburn
won that game, didn't they? Yeah. Well, no, it was after the game. It was after they beat Alabama. No, I think it was actually the weekly. No, that was Tumor's Corner. When did that happen?
I can't remember.
That was a while ago.
Ooh, maybe we can do like Georgia players getting arrested.
Dude, Georgia players really don't get arrested like that often.
We should go look at the people that do get arrested if they rejoin the team, how they do.
Yeah, I mean, like, let's see here. I do, dude. The Georgia whole. So I'm sure you heard where. What was the guy we got from LSU, the tight end? Lord, this is about to kill me.
You know better than I do.
Yeah, I do know better. It starts with, it's like crap. Anyways, the dude's like actually like not with the team right now or something. I don't know if he's back, but like the last I saw, he just wasn't with the team. And he was a tight end, and I was really excited. You know, we're going to have Darnell Washington, Darnell Washington, that dude might become the next Kyle Pitts. Like, no joke. Like,
bold statement.
Dude, have you seen how big this dude is? Like, he literally has, like, he's literally a grown man. Like, he has a baby.
Most of them are.
Yeah, like, he literally, like, this man is massive. Like, it's ridiculous.
Big Joker?
Oh, man, you have no idea how big this dude is. Like, he makes Isaac Nauta look like a shrimp.
Also, can I say something from week 0? I watched the UTEP New Mexico State game. Oh my God.
Horrible game. Snooze fest.
I had to stream it on YouTube.
Really?
Yeah, and it looked like I'm not kidding, it looked like a high school game. You know how they used to stream our high school games? That's what it looked like. Actually, shout out Brandon Brown Productions. He does better than Valley Sports covered their game, and it looked like shit.
Valley Sports sucks.
If it's anything besides Braves baseball.
I mean, just baseball in general. Valley Sports does a good job of baseball. Everything else is just piss poor, man. It's god awful.
Also, for those wondering if we're going to bet baseball, postseason.
I gotta get my
really matters.
Yeah, I gotta get my ticket squared away. Dylan's got to catch a flight down when the Braves eventually make it to the World Series.
It's gonna happen, man.
We're chopping on. Lord, man, the Braves. By the way, if you have any money and you do want to bet baseball tonight, I would take the Dodgers. I would take the Dodgers to beat the Braves. I would take the Dodgers.
Question: do the Braves slip up and somehow choke this series?
Yes.
Not the series, but their
division?
Their division.
It's 3.5 right now.
Phillies are playing the Nats, man. I mean,
Phillies are playing the Nats. Phillies get a sweep. We get swept, and then it's right back anybody's game. It's most likely going to come down to those last two series. The Braves play the Phillies at home and the Mets at home in the last two series of the years. I don't see any way that the Phillies really legitimately contend at the end of the year. When it gets down to the magic number time, then that's when we'll really know.
Yeah. But so I cannot believe college football is like here. It's here.
It's ready.
Weekend.
It's time. Let's go.
Like it kind of stuck its foot in the door last weekend, and then just Kool-Aid Man this weekend. It's here. So what is that? What are you doing, Clark Kent? Put it up. Curl it up. What are you doing? But no, it's here.
Lord.
Obviously, last week 4-2, 1-0 Mortal Locks plus 1.056 units. Mal 4-3. 0-1 Mortal Locks minus 0.9 units. So not a terrible week.
Oh, we're calling them Mortal Locks now?
Oh, sorry, Lock of the Week.
If we're calling them Mortal Locks, then
that's copyright Barstool Sports, so we can't do that.
I was about to say.
So yeah,
okay, so I do want to throw something out there. I do have a can't lose parlay.
Oh yeah,
I do have a can't lose parlay. Now
we'll finish the show on this.
We'll finish the show on the can't lose parlay. Dylan, would you like to guess what the first bet of the can't lose parlay is?
Is it a Thursday game?
Yes.
Bowling Green plus 3.5.
That is the first bet of the can't lose parlay. Second bet of the can't lose parlay.
Wait. Under 64.5 Ohio, Minnesota.
Holy hell, I'm not even. I swear to everybody, I have not showed Dylan this can't lose parlay.
Look, I got to get the last one.
Okay, so I will give you this. The last one is a Friday game.
Oh, North Carolina cover the spread. I don't know if 6.
Nope. You had the right game. That's under 64 in the North Carolina Virginia Tech Hokie game.
I almost guessed all three of them.
Hey, we will take 2. I'll give you 2.5. You got the right game.
Well, I was thinking, I was going through my head what games Friday like really stick out, but
yeah,
no, we'll talk about all those games
Bowling Green
on Friday's episode.
I'm calling Bowling Green my lock. Dylan, so basically you got my lock, Dylan's lock, and then a pretty solid Friday pick. So
let's go ahead and restate our bets for Thursday/Wednesday. So you go ahead, give us your lock, give us your normal bets.
So Appalachia State -10.5. We'll cover that game. It'll basically be a home game for App State, in with a lot more seats to fill. So App State hammered them. I've got my lock of the week at Bowling Green +34.5 against Tennessee in Knoxville. I have got the Minnesota Golden Gophers rowing the boat. PJ Fleck will take Ohio State and cover that spread. They will not win the game. I would not bet them to win the game. They might win the game, but they won't win the game. So Minnesota +14. And then we've got under 60 in the Bowling Green, Tennessee game. That just seems very, very, very straightforward, quite frankly. I don't see Tennessee's offense really putting up more than 30 points. And let's be honest here, Bowling Green will maybe put up 17 if they're lucky.
Maybe.
So then we've got Ohio State, Minnesota under 65.
Okay, so those are mouse picks. My picks for the week is over 47.5 at the Jacksonville State UAB game. And I'm taking Jacksonville State +14.5, which is that game's tonight, like I said, if you're listening on Wednesday. Then for the UCF Boise State game, I have UCF -5.5 points. Ohio State, Minnesota, I have Ohio State -14.5, and I have the under 64.5 in that game. Then, like I said, pride bet -35.5. Go damn Vols. But my lock of the week is under 64.5 in the Ohio State Minnesota game.
And before we call it quits, I do want to point out, if you did not take over 3.5 rounds in the Jake Paul Tyron Woodley fight, you are an idiot.
Yeah. Anyone that said the fight was going to end in a knockout, go ahead and, I don't know, walk in traffic, but don't get hit.
No, I mean, look, I don't know if this is rigged for ratings or money. I don't know, but I can't stand idly by any longer.
He also didn't.
Please tell me you got my reference there.
One more time. Let me hear it again.
I don't know if this is rigged for ratings or money. I don't know, but I cannot stand by and watch this any longer. That would be Miss Ayesha Curry about the NBA Finals.
Oh, yeah. Okay. See, I'm not an NBA guy. I would have never connected the dots. But isn't Jake Paul, didn't he retire? He just retired.
I believe Jake Paul just retired.
That's a good call. He's been dodging bullets long enough. He's been dodging people that might actually whip his ass.
And here's the thing. A lot of people like to say Tyron Woodley won that fight. Tyron Woodley did not win that fight.
I didn't see it, so I don't know.
Okay, so here's my recap of this whole bullshit. Jake Paul is the better boxer. Okay? If this was a street fight, Tyron Woodley would have absolutely kicked his ass. There is no doubt in my mind. Jake Paul was a very good wrestler. And quite frankly, I think Jake Paul might have more success in the UFC if he were to have trained out of college for it. Because he was a national champion, or I think he made it to the national championship or something like that in wrestling. He was a damn good wrestler. State champion in high school, obviously. So the dude can wrestle. If he would have trained out of high school, out of college for the UFC, he might be very good. In boxing, obviously, now it's kind of too late. But the dude's not a bad boxer. He has great movement. He's got quick hands. He won the fight. There's no debating he won the fight, in my eyes, against Woodley.
Okay. So, solid job by Jake Paul. Got his paycheck. Hung it up. Smart move.
Tyron Woodley. See, so at the end of the fight, Tyron Woodley was actually saying he wants to run it back. In which Jake Paul responded, if you get a tattoo that says, and I quote, I love Jake Paul, we will run it back. And they shook on it, so we'll see what happens there.
In question, couldn't he just get the tattoo, take a picture with it, get Jake Paul to say yes, then get that shit removed? He could do that, right? Because all the bet said was get a tattoo. It didn't say keep it for the rest of your life.
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll see.
Some loopholes.
We'll see. If this fight is ran back, personally, I don't think I'll be watching it because at this point, it's just all money grabs.
What was that fight we watched in Boca?
That would be Logan Paul Floyd Mayweather.
That one was a decent fight.
It was not. I mean, it was a Floyd Mayweather fight without Floyd Mayweather trying. Floyd Mayweather fights are always going to be kind of boring just because the dude just dodges. And Floyd Mayweather is the epitome of boxing.
Yeah.
He's not going to go out there and knock anybody out. He's going to go out there and win and in a decision.
Yeah.
So,
well, closing remarks, Mel.
Closing remarks. Please, nobody listen to Dylan on this Tennessee Bowling Green game.
Hater.
I am going to have a pride pick for the Saturday. So, if you can't tell,
it's just how it is, man.
But my pride pick is a little more realistic than Dylan's pride pick. I would say.
That's fair. That's fair. 35.5 points is a lot of points.
It's just a lot of points.
Hey, if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLING.
Gambler.
1-800-GAMBLER. Be smart with your bankrolls. Be smart with your units, people. And we'll see you Friday. Peace.